I think it's possible we look back on this entire transfer season and we look back and say AJ Ferrari to Nebraska was the most consequential transfer we saw the entire offseason. And when you look at the potential ramifications of this move, I think you may agree with me. Now, let's go back a little bit. Nebraska had an incredible NCAA tournament, the likes of which we really haven't seen a team get on this kind of a heater to start the tournament, and then just it never really stopped. I mean, they were out of control good, bringing home a national title at 149 with Ridge Lovett, 157 Antrell. You had Caleb Smith on the podium at 25. Jacob Van D punches through. Brock Hardy making the NCAA finals, right? And now this team lost some heat, right? You lost your national champion, Ridge Lovett, right? That's significant. You lost your All-American 125 pounder, Caleb Smith. And so while you were looking at the season, it's like, well, I don't know, Nebraska, they could be able to get a trophy back-to-back years. Probably not likely, right? And they were sitting around kind of on the bubble to get their trophy. And then they took their probably weakest weight and turned it into maybe their strongest, adding AJ Ferrari at the heavyweight class. And I believe that's where we're going to see AJ Ferrari wrestling. When you look at the lineup and the roster that Nebraska has, I think that makes the absolute most sense. And when you think about the trophy race, first off, if you don't know what that means, that's the top 4 spots get a trophy. It's a very coveted accolade for a team, right? Obviously, you want to win, but just getting that trophy is an incredible, incredible status that every team in the country is vying for, right? And so Nebraska, that has eluded Nebraska for years and years and years. They had teams that are like, hey, don't sleep on Nebraska. Nebraska could do it. They could be third. They could be second. They could contend, right? And then in years past, they just hadn't been able to quite put it all together. Last year, they put it all together. Can they do it again? Maybe not. Now they have AJ. That's absolutely on the table. And they're going to need him. Because if you look at the remaining trophy spots, it's going to be a knife fight for these 2, 3, and 4 spots. You've got Nebraska coming in at second, Iowa third, Iowa State fourth, and you got basically a new look Iowa Hawkeyes, new look Iowa State Cyclones, bringing in a ton of talent from the portal. Then you go to fifth, another team that's been very active in the transfer portal, Ohio State. Oh, by the way, you've got Oklahoma State sitting there at eighth with maybe one of the most talented rosters in the country. Right? So you're going to have to put a really good team on the mat if you want to bring home a trophy. And the way you can do that, one, you could do kind of what we've seen other teams do, which is get a lot of guys on the podium, or you need those high-end finishers. If you get a couple of those guys in the finals, you only need a couple other breaks to go your way to finish in that top 4. And that's what Nebraska can potentially do. Now let's look at this lineup. 125, they lose Caleb Smith. That hurts. But they've got capable guys. They've got Alan Kohler or Cale Lauritsen. I don't know who it's going to be. Kohler had it. If you look at his results, very, very strong season. Beat Kyle Gallhofer, beat a number of really tough 25-pounders. But Cale Lauritsen, the reason you maybe know that name, one, he was really good out of the state of Nebraska. But two, he beat Caleb Smith in the wrestle-off last year. That's what kind of got him in the conversation. They're going to be good at 25. How good? Are they All-American good? I'm not ready to go that far. 33, Jacob Van D. He's already placed. He can obviously do it again. Brock Hardy, he's ranked second. He's beaten Jesse Mendez in the past, who's ranked number 1. He's an obvious title contender. 149, they lost Ridge. Ouch. But they bring in Chance Lamer, a guy who's been around the podium, a guy that everyone believes can be an All-American. Can Nebraska get him over the hump? You've got the returning national champ at 157, Antrell Taylor. He's ranked number 1 to start the year. And then you have maybe the surprise freshman of the year, bar none. I think it's not even a debate. It was Christopher Minto. This guy was someone, he wasn't even thought to be the starter coming into the year. They thought it was going to be Bubba Wilson. And this guy just got better and better. And you saw him early in that first semester and you thought, hey, this guy might be a problem. This guy, then you watch him in wrestling some of the Big Ten duels. Wait, he's in matches with really good guys like Michael Caliendo. He's not winning them, but he's in them. And then it just seemed to get better as the season went on and then finishes on the podium as a freshman. Christopher Minto, just a stud. This guy's really good. He's only going to get better at Nebraska. Now, this guy's really big. Is he going to be a 65 next year? That seems to be the chatter right now. That's where we've got him ranked. That's where I have him slotted for the purpose of this video. But there could be some moving around. They've got at 174 LJ Arajo. I hope I'm saying that last name right. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was a good recruit. Had an okay redshirt year. He's not rankable yet. I think he'll get there. I think he's pretty tough. But let's be honest, losing Lenny Pinto here, that hurts, right? At least on the surface, it looks like it's going to hurt. Now, we'll see what LJ can become. Maybe he's going to be this year's Christopher Minto. But those guys, those Christopher Minto stories, they're few and far between. There's not a lot of guys that do what Chris did. So counting on that is maybe a little overly optimistic. But LJ definitely going to be a solid contributor for Nebraska at a minimum if he's their guy at 174. Then 84-97, they're just, I would assume they're going to run back who they had last year. And why wouldn't you? They're both All-Americans. Silas Allred placed last year at 184, and then Camden McDaniel as a true freshman. Wow. On the podium at 197. Seemed to get better and better as the season went on. No one saw this, the All-American finish coming, maybe even coming into the tournament. He was like a 20 seed, but he got it done and is only going to get better. And then you've got the anchor with AJ Ferrari, who maybe, even though they have Antrell Taylor on the team, maybe is their most likely, most guaranteed points. And now there's two sides to the AJ Ferrari coin, potentially, right? This is a guy who has had, exits from teams and it didn't go well. Okay, without rehashing the past, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. And so now he's going to Nebraska, a team, regardless of their results, forget the fact that they were second last year. This is a team, when you talk about culture, it's one of the best. Tight team, great culture, good people in leadership, great team leadership, great camaraderie. And when you have that kind of a culture and dynamic, you can bring someone into the fold who has maybe had baggage in the past. It seems like if you look at his year at Cal State Bakersfield, AJ Ferrari has done a lot of maturing, done a lot of growing up, and is doing a great job. So I don't think the cause for concern going into last year is a little different from this year. And I think Nebraska has a culture to kind of put their arms around AJ and help him, and he can obviously help them. So I think it was a great move by Coach Manning, and uncharacteristic. They haven't been a team that's been in the portal too much. Caleb Smith transferred from App State. Now they've got Lamer and AJ Ferrari, but not. I forgot to mention. I got confused. See, I did a video about transfers, and now I'm getting them mixed up because in my mind I thought Caleb Rachi was going to Nebraska, but he's going to UNI. Sorry, a lot of names, a lot of transfers this year. But the main point of my story, main point of this video, Nebraska is going to be really, really good. Making the move to land AJ Ferrari, I believe, is the most consequential transfer of the entire transfer portal season. But I want to hear from you. Who do you think was the biggest move to make, and how well do you think Nebraska is going to do next year? Can they get trophies in back-to-back years? That's the question.